What's going on, guys? I'm just out in the garage here doing a quick once over on my tractor. I got to finish mowing the lawn today, and then I'm going to Sean's house tomorrow to do some driveway work on his driveway there. He's got a couple low spots. He wants me to fill some gravel, so that video will be coming soon, as I'll be recording that tomorrow. So hopefully for next weekend you guys will see that video. But while I'm going over my tractor, I remembered that I never cut open the hydraulic filter here, so I'm gonna make a quick video cutting this filter open just to see what we could find, see what it looks like inside, and see how bad it really was. Now, as I said, I'm going to be using a grinder for this, but if you guys ever want to cut open your own filters, just check on the health of your transmission or engine. They actually make something like this. This is a tubing cutter, but they actually make one that's made for oil filters, and you basically put it around an oil filter and it'll cut a nice clean line without getting all kinds of metal and debris on the filter and the inside. So I definitely recommend, if anyone's going to do this, to use the right tool. But I'm just going to be cutting it open with the grinder here, and hopefully once we get it open, we won't have it too damaged where we can actually see what was inside of it. It's crazy the amount of oil that's coming out of this thing. I had this thing fully drained and sitting for like a week. And as soon as I cut it open, it just started pouring out oil again. Wondering if it was just that clogged, because obviously that's the inlet there. And it's got to go through those pleats, so I'm wondering if the oil was trapped between the shell and the pleats, because the pleats are probably pretty clogged up. It's another reason I'm not doing this over the workbench, because I definitely didn't want a big mess to deal with. We're almost there. Alright guys, so we've got the filter cracked open here. Once you take off the flange that goes to your oil filter housing, we're met here with this seal. This is a rubber seal that seals the filter housing end here against the filter itself, which is right inside here. Here's your opening for the oil to flow through, and when we pull the filter out, we're just left with this empty shell here. Now, Kubota makes a really good filter. It's pretty dense compared to a lot of other filters, and that is because it's actually got more of the filter pleating inside the filter housing than your typical filters do. That's why I always recommend a Kubota filter, especially with your hydraulics, which is what this is. In case any of you missed the last video, this came off of the transmission for the hydraulic transmission fluid. I pulled this off, I did the hydraulic filter and oil change, and it's been sitting here ever since. Neil Messick has a really great video, which I'll link right here. If you guys haven't seen it, he actually rips apart an OEM Kubota filter and he compares it to a Napa Gold. And I was actually quite surprised to see how much more pleating the Kubota filter had over the Napa Gold, because the Napa Gold's a really good filter. But if we look in here, you can see this filter was once like a yellow color, bright yellow. And as you can see, it's just fully black now. Typically, hydraulic filters don't get this bad, but mine was on there for an extended period of time. I think I was 200 or 300 hours overdue on my oil change. So something you definitely don't ever want to do. And as you can see, all these pleats here look like they were not filtering oil, or flowing oil, I should say, very well. And I believe that's why I had the hydrostatic pedal issues that I was having, as well as the loader joystick issues I was having. I just don't think I was getting enough hydraulic flow. The pressure was there, but my flow wasn't. And I think that's what was screwing with the transmission and everything else. So now that we've got this out, we can take a quick look here before I try to cut this open. This is what my pleats look like. I don't really see anything that jumps out at me. Just looks like a dirty filter for the most part. I'm gonna see if I can take this razor blade here, and I'm gonna try to cut this pleating out of here so we can spread it apart and see what's on the inside. Because I feel like if there's gonna be any kind of particles, it's gonna be trapped in there on the inside. So let's go ahead and rip this apart a little bit more and see what else we find. Okay, so I got this metal brace in here, so I basically just cut it all the way around from brace to brace. I'll do the same thing here. There we go. Wow. I could literally feel the grit, guys, on my finger. You could even see them little specks right there of metal. That is on the outside, so it could have been from me grinding it and cutting it open. But look, as we dig deeper in here, even way in here, this is the side I was cutting on. This was way buried in the pleats. I just pulled it apart and there's a metal speck right there. I don't think it's picking up on camera. There's actually another one here, another one there. So definitely is some metal specks buried within the pleats. Basically what I'm doing, I'm just pulling it out. Wow, the freaking grit on this. You can see right in the corner of these pleats here is where it's collecting the most debris. Just gonna go ahead and get it all out. This way we can give it a good inspection. I especially want to see the inside of it. Okay, there's the one end. There's the other side. Okay, so here's the housing itself, or the base for the pleating. You can see we've just got a nice screen in here to catch any of the larger objects from going back into your oil or back to the reservoir. And that's pretty much it. It's just basically a cage, an empty shell now. So now we've got all this pleating out, we can take a closer look at it. This side here is going to be the inside. So we can take a closer look now. See if I see anything here. Tell you what, it's definitely clog solid. I mean, I could probably puddle some oil on this and it would probably take forever to seep all the way through the other side. And I think that's why this thing wasn't leaking any oil until I cut into the outer shell. It was just all trapped in there. And there was a couple specks that I seen. Very nasty stuff. A little bit of debris in there. Well, I'm glad I didn't see anything that jumped out at me, as in big specks of metal or anything like that, or any big specks of debris, so that's a good sign. But this is all the filter material. As you can see, it's quite a bit, and I'm gonna lay this out for you guys so you can see just how much, and we're gonna actually measure it. I was just wiping this off, guys, so I can stretch it out without making a mess. Just wanna show you something. I'll take this clean rag, give it a quick wipe. Look at all that gunk. I mean, that's absolutely filthy. This was on one side, and this piece over here, this was on one side, and this was on the other side. So inside, outside, or outside, inside, you can see it was equally just as filthy on each side. That's pretty much what my hydraulic fluid looked like too. It wasn't black, but it was like this very, very dark gray color, which is usually how hydraulic fluid will look when it's really dirty. It'll never get black per se, but it will get, you know, this gray type of color. So if you see your fluids coming out in like a gray color, or if you check your dipstick and you see it's like a silvery gray, it's definitely time to change your oil and your filter, I would say. Now here's something to take note of, guys. As I was wiping this off, now I've got the oil basically sucked out of this filter. I can see a lot more metal. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna pick up on camera, but I see a ton of sparkly specks. You can see some in that one pleat right there. All them little sparkles, that's all metal. Now, that could have been for me cutting it open, but it is on both sides of the filter. If I flip it over here, just don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but there's tons of it. Tons of very little pieces. There's one right on the tip of that cleat. See it shining right there? That's a big piece. So I mean, it's loaded with that. Now that I got the oil sucked off the filter, dried off of it here, it's actually exposing all the shiny metal that was trapped within it. So they're just small metal specks, but it's metal nonetheless. So maybe we'll check it again next time I do my oil and filter change. This time I'm gonna do it early instead of doing it very, very late. And maybe I'll go buy an actual filter cutter too, and we'll re-inspect it and see what kind of difference we get in the material. All right, guys, now for those who are wondering how long this filter material actually is in one of these Kubota BX transmission filters, I'm getting almost 7 foot here on my tape measure, and it's not even all the way pulled out. You know, like I could easily pull this out to probably, I don't know, 7 foot 3 inches, maybe 7 foot 5. So that is quite a bit of material in there. It's more than I ever would have thought they could pack into a little oil filter like that, but you got to think with these suites the way they are folded in, you know, they take up a lot less room when they're folded in nice and tight like they were. So, but that's good, man. Just goes to show you why you should always use a Kubota filter when possible, or your tractor's manufactured filters, because they build these filters to be the best that they can be, because they don't want warranty issues. You know what I mean? They want their tractors at least last past the warranty. So you can bet on the filters being a very good quality coming from the dealers themselves. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Me pulling apart this oil filter for you guys. Sorry it took me so long to do this. I've just been real busy, but I'm glad I was able to show you guys the inside of that, because I know a lot of you guys were asking about it. And as for the forklift project over here, you can see it's coming along rather nicely. I've got the head gasket all installed now. I installed a bunch of new oil lines, got the fuel tank installed, we've got all of the wiring done, all new gauges put in it, as well as the new ignition and a fuse. Been working away on this thing for a week straight, just, you know, any spare chance I get, I come out here for a couple hours, work on it. I've been doing that on and off for about 2 weeks now, and I have a bunch of footage from this forklift job, and I will be uploading a video soon on the channel for that too, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe as always. We'll see you guys in the next one.